So with that, chat, we are back again. Rockies versus Expos. Fresh off the back of another season, ready to begin anew. And a friendly reminder for those that didn't see it, this is how the Expos will be lined up this season. We made some tough decisions, but the Expos roster looking a lot better. The rotation is as followed. Henry Tanaka leading the way as your ace with Jace Vines behind him. Quinn Priester, who was your Rule 5 pickup, is there as well. James Shim and Scotty Vela getting the call-ups this season. On the bullpen side of things, though, a lot of starters. Matthew Liberatore, William Rich, Marcus Thomas, and Carmen Chavez, because you guys really have a lack of relievers. The only two relievers are at the bottom here. It is Dennis North, a 71 overall, and Arlo Ostrander, a 72, as your closer. So the pitching is as good as it's ever been. It is made up entirely of players that you guys drafted. Lineup-wise, you still got a dud in there, but you have Julian Chavez leading off at second base, the dud being Wyatt Gall. First base, Michael Chen was elected to make the roster this year. Every player you see here, I left it up to the chat, and they said put him in. You also have Andreas Tejera at DH. One Frank Jones also making the team this year. Will Benson, of course, cannon of an arm. Cameron Meisner as well. Pretty solid as well for a defense first option. And of course, Richard Pena, last year's, or 2 years ago's now, first overall pick. And you can see why. And Corbin Carroll, the Rule 5 pickup, is also there. On the bench, you have nobody except for Humberto Quintana that you actually drafted. And yeah, it's a D potential for old Humberto. So expect the Expos to be a lot better this year. My Rockies, on the other hand, we have one Lee Anthony as my ace, Barney Torres, Adrian Donaldson in his 99 velocity, Dominic Cedeno, and Ryan McIntyre. Then for the bullpen, it is one Robert Staples, Malcolm Gonzalez, Bucky Tate, and Daniel Yamamoto. Shout out to that truck in the background. Bottom half of the bullpen, Chris McWilliams, Jarrett Gutu, and the 85 overall Alejandro Zepeda at 25 years old. Crazy. So again, made up entirely of drafted players for myself. My lineup as well, made up entirely of drafted players except for the first baseman. But we have Will Shin at third base, Bobby Jensen at second, Benito Osuna in the 3 spot, Seth Beer right behind him, Kyle Tucker rounding out the outfield, Rule 5 pickup Tyler Freeman, thank God you didn't get him, Tommy Kilpatrick at DH, of course Alberto Hernandez at catcher, and then I don't have a natural first baseman. Again, I'm going hands off with the lineup. If it's up to me, Seth Beer is my first baseman, and I easily call up James Borden, but we're not going to play it that way. It's technically up to the manager how the lineup goes. So interesting teams across the board. We will continue to be hands off with our scouting, so pretty much, so you got to look there at my organizational ratings. Pretty much, we're going to be able to jump right into the draft here off the start. Just need a second to fire up the old raffle system for those in chat, and we'll see who wins. You guys have gotten the better of me in the draft, all in all, throughout this series so far. But, while it doesn't feel like it, we are still in the early stages of this. So the raffle is good to go. Pretty simple. You guys want a chance to make this pick in chat, just type in the word draft, and you will be good to go. With that, we shall sim. We shall sim and see how this plays out this season. Let's do it. To draft day we go. Important messages we can't ignore, of course. And we'll see how this plays out. A rough start for the Rockies. Very rough start indeed. We'll find out how the Expos are doing very soon. But a much worse start, actually, for my team than I would have predicted. 15-41, the Expos at 18-38. So the Expos, as of the draft, are a bit further ahead. Interesting. Interesting. 18-38 versus 15-41. Fair enough. We'll take a look at a couple of stats here so people can Fill out some options. Henry Tanaka, though, 2-6 with a 4.05 ERA. Jace Vines is 1-6. Solid ERA, though. I mean, you guys don't have the best starting pitching. Liberatore's back in the rotation. James Shim at 4-4. Interesting that they... I can see why your manager, of course, who is Dave Roberts, already switched Scotty Vella to long reliever because, goddamn, you must be getting some good hitting. Chavez at 257. Chen at 258. At 200. Maybe not. I have no idea how you guys have the record that you do. You don't have a dynamite lineup. You don't have a dynamite pitching staff. It's a mystery. We go to the 2025 draft. The Expos with the #1 overall pick. The Rockies with the 2nd. In terms of extra picks, none of us, or neither of us, with a competitive balance pick. No compensation either, so just the straight 6. Actually, I do have a competitive balance round B pick between rounds 2 and 3. So I'll take that. So again, in case you end up with the #1 overall pick or the first pick of the 2nd round, it is time to pay attention to who you guys have available here. I'll move myself over here and take down the list so you guys can see the organizational depth chart here as well. So when it comes to catchers, you really don't need one. But there is Russell Gore, and actually, better yet, I'll go back over here and move myself up here, which is what we normally do. So we'll do that, but you do have Russ Gore, who doesn't look all that bad, to be honest. He's okay. You also have Satchel Nathan, who is not as good, and Patrick Paxton, who's got good contact, but 6'5" catcher though at 19 years old. So a couple of catchers. Hank Garcia, not that great. Couple of catchers you could go for, but meh. First base, Andreas Marte. So there will be the question of, do you draft for need or do you draft the best available? Andreas Marte looking pretty good. Pretty good indeed. No 80s in terms of scouted, but you look at the currents outside of the contact. Marte is pretty damn good. Outside of that, you have no other real guarantee that you'd probably want to take with the first overall pick. I mean, you have Pritchett and Jamal Hauser, but Second base. Now, you guys do need another second, third short option. And you have Avery Schnell, who doesn't have a complete track record or, complete scouting report, but decent. Not amazing, but decent. He can play shortstop. Tom Garce, who is a pretty good fielding first option. The batting could be a bit weak, but he's 19. And Eric Carvajal. Whoo! You guys got a lovely decision to make here. Because Eric Carvajal could be that shortstop that you need. He's 19, ready next year, full scouting accuracy. Do you take the first baseman or do you take Eric Carvajal to play shortstop for you? Damn. And that could be the shortstop you guys need. You really could be. Third base, you really don't have anybody reliable. 23-year-old Roger Lee and Johnny Ruiz. Honestly, Roger Lee doesn't look that bad. He can't play shortstop, though. Well, yeah, the first baseman's better, Mac, but do you take the best available or do you take the one position that you need? That's the question. That's the question. Whoever makes the pick has to decide need or best available. You also got Johnny Ruiz as the defense first option, but again, you don't have a full report. And at shortstop, it's a toss-up. But you have Stefan Shimizu. Very good defense first option from the looks of it. He's 23 and ready next year, but not a full report. And Fletcher Viegas. Well-rounded, nothing too special, but could play where you need him to play. So far, I mean, the question, it pretty much comes down to if you're taking a position player, it's Carvajal to fill need, or it's Marte to take the best available. Outside of the outfield, which in left, there is nobody. In center, Alejandro Cabrera, 19 years old, might be a lower overall, but looks like he could be a stud in terms of the speed option. And then in right, you have Eric Nottingham, Not bad either. Good field. You know, good field and good speed for the Canadian. You also have Tyson Scandura. Might be a little bit weaker overall. For the starting pitchers, Stephen Hinojo, I'm guessing. Stephen Hinojo. Out of Japan. Only 3 pitches for a starter. 2 fastballs and a changeup. Probably good potential. Might not have the best overall. Good velocity. Yeah, a little bit shaky. And then from there, again, it's a little bit shaky with some of these guys as well. I won't look at them, but that's a bit of a risk pick. And then you have Ernest Sewell, who, 21 and is at least 4 years away. 5 pitches, though, for him. In terms of relievers, no guarantees for actual relievers. For closers, honestly, no guarantees either. Calderon's 25, ready next year. Rufus Rios is 24, ready next year, but they're not green. The only green is Castro, and he's 4 years out at 22. So with that, you know all the options that you could possibly take with the first overall pick. Excuse me. The question is, who gets the pick? And will it be drafting for need or drafting best available? The pick goes to Brits. Congratulations, Brits. It's up to you. Do you draft for need? Do you draft the best available? That's the question. Look at the first baseman. Why? We've already looked at the first baseman. He's fantastic. That second baseman / shortstop, also very solid from the looks of it, and it's what you need a little bit more. That is the question. Do you take the best player available in Andreas Marte? Or do you take Eric Carvajal, who is solid in and of himself and fits the team pretty well? Good contact, good vision and discipline, good speed for the infield. 19 years old and ready next year. Could argue Marte is a little bit better. Carvajal's not bad and fits the team better. Doogie's trying to get you to draft second baseman. I mean, Mac, I'm literally saying best available is Marte. The need is Carvajal. Yeah, that's what it is. So, I mean, you could take the first baseman because he's the best available, and it spites me a little bit. But I'm getting a good player regardless. I have the second overall pick. I'm getting a good player regardless. And there might be somebody available for me that you didn't get, you guys didn't scout, and I'd be fine regardless. Brits is going with the second baseman. He has made his choice. Eric Carvajal is the selection he drafts for need rather than the best available. Eric Carvajal is the selection for the Expos, and with the #1 overall pick, that choice was made with the second overall pick, Andreas Marte. Welcome to the Colorado Rockies. Works out well for both of us, chat. Andreas Marte, welcome to the Rockies. Hinojo went third to the Reds. You had Sewell. Garce also went to the Blue Jays. In case you were looking at any other names, a lot of names were off the board. Paxton gone at catcher. A lot of names off the list here, of course. There were a lot of picks. So with that, we go to round number 2. And again, we'll do a little bit of a rundown here for who's available before I, get that selection. And honestly, for greens, it's rough. I mean, you have potential 75 potential here in George Pappas, 21-year-old. He's ready in 2 years. Really good break for a starter. Really good break. Really good walks per 9, too. So George Pappas is someone to take a look at. You don't need a catcher. Hank Garcia's there. Honestly, I probably wouldn't take Hank Garcia. Tyson Scandura in right is a decent fielding first outfielder that you guys could take a look at if you wanted to. There's also Luis Salazar, but especially for a 70. Eric Goodwin, again, for a catcher, not that great. Has good contact. So in terms of green accuracy, there's not much. So you're pretty much looking at yellow bar. And for yellow bar, I mean, there's still quite a few 80s. There are still quite a few 80s that are available here. I mean, pretty much you're seeing the full list, actually. for 80s that you still have information on. And Russ Gore can play first. Holy hell. Not saying Russ Gore should be the pick, but Russ Gore might have to be the pick. We'll see who it is. The selection goes to Dude Enoch. Dude, congratulations. You will be making that selection. I can look at whatever you want me to look at. Unfortunately, there's no dead set pick like there is with the first overall. So good luck, sir. What will it be for the Expos? What will it be? Because Lord knows I have no idea who the hell I'm taking. Not a clue. I mean, to be honest, I'm very happy because the last two picks, the Rule 5, and now here, I ended up with Tyler Freeman and Andreas Marte. So I'm very happy. I mean, you guys are doing well by your team. It just so happens that it's also working out very well for me. I'm telling you, these two teams are on a collision course. On an absolute collision course. Second call, also known as the last call for one Dude Enoch. Earth to Dude. Dude to Earth. Earth to Dude. Dude to Dude. And we're gonna say 5. Well, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he loses the pick. Instead, it will go to Alpha. Alpha, you said that it's Rios or Calderon. Pyro, you can probably shorten that band. That's a bit excessive. But Alpha, I mean, yeah, you said Rios and Calderon should be looked at. So, one Rufus Rios also looks pretty sick. With the hits, the Ks. Honestly, Rios does look pretty sweet. I know he's 24. 2-seam slider and a 12-6 curve. Rios looks pretty good there for one Mr. Alpha at this stage. And Calderon as well, you shouted out despite the age. He doesn't look so bad either. So, I mean, yeah, the ages are up there, but they're ready next year. So, PFM, so what this is, it is a franchise mode where we only build up through the drafts. Normally it would just be me doing it, but because you can control multiple teams in franchise mode, it is my team controlling the Colorado Rockies against Chat's team, which is the Montreal Expos. And what we do, there's no major trading, no major free agent signings. We only build up through the draft picks that we get in the entry draft, as well as the Rule 5, where we're allowed 2 picks per draft, 1 pitcher and 1 position player. So, Alpha, what are you thinking here? I think I'm going Rios. Rhino says Gore. Alpha, are we confirming that you're going to go for Rufus Rios? Rook official as well, what's up? I mean, Rios does look sick, and you guys need bullpen help. So I couldn't blame you for it. Alright, it is official. The Expos add to the bullpen with closer Rufus Rios. I don't hate that pick for you guys, I really don't. With that, I'm actually going to take a look at players that might be available to me because I really haven't looked yet. I mean, I knew what pick. The funny thing is, I could have screwed up that draft. There could have been a player that was available to me that was half decent, but I saw Marte and I'm like, yes, please. We'll see what we have here. So Russ Gore is out there for me and honestly does look sick. Russ Gore might have to be the pick for me anyway. Hank Garcia, I know nothing about. First base... I mean, Ken Imro would be a best guess option. Nobody that I wanted the 75s. Second base. Avery Schnell was up there for you guys, too. Third, Tom Irving. Don't know if he could be trusted. He's 22 and apparently ready in 2 years. Rook, we sim. We do sim. But major playoff games, we do watch the AI play just to see if it's good or bad. More times than not, it's bad. We do a lot of Diamond Dynasty, MTOs, Road to the Show to cover gameplay. But franchise mode, we always do sim.
Oh, good
and thank you for the follow as well. Fletcher Villegas. He's not bad. He's not bad. Can't say that I couldn't use another infielder or another catcher. Shimizu. Good fielding first option. Bob Keane, the Canadian, ran a 6.66.
Oh, good
Well,
for
and
you.
PFM, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's anyone else on the board here with my scouting information compared to your scouts. Again, the advantage of getting the first overall pick is obviously you get to pick your guy, but I get to see the info. I mean, you get to see my info too. Kurt Hudson, I wish I had more information on. Fletcher Rodriguez. Really don't need another starter, but Fletcher looks pretty good. There's also Ronaldo Dawson. Okay, there's a couple of starters that I like. Leon Bashang. There are actually a couple of starters I like. Brandon Grimsley. Couple of starters I like. Couple position players that I like. Leroy McCarty's got crazy break. If his potential was on point, that'd be great, but he's definitely going to be 4 years away. And closers. Charlie Brown! For the record, whoever was looking at Calderon, he's apparently worse, according to my scouts. He's a risk pick. God, I don't know. Couple of starters I like. There is Russ Gore that I like as a catcher. There was also Schnell. I think I'm going to go for Russ Gore. Honestly, he's kind of the one that both of our scouting departments said was half decent. Now I'm going to take the catcher Russ Gore with my pick here. And a lot of names we were looking at are gone here. Now, I do get another pick here, the competitive balance round. I have no idea who the hell is going to be here. Devils, take it easy, man. We'll catch you later. So in terms of names I was interested in, Ken Imro, still there. Again, Arroyo's just too far gone. Tom Irving, for that vision and contact, really isn't that bad, but he can only play third base. The funny thing is, though, I don't have a natural third baseman at this stage. Tom Irving might have to be the guy for me. Bob Keane's pretty well-rounded, too. He can play second and third. And Irving's, I mean, man, the potential for Keane. It might have to be Tom Keane. I don't hate Irving. Like, there's no guarantee that Keane's potential is that much better. He's just really a defense-first option as Keane. I don't need an outfielder. And then for starters, honestly, I was looking at Dawson and Grimsley. Just Grimsley for the fact that he's 21 and apparently ready next year. It's really close. And of course, Charlie Brown's there too. I think for me, it's got to be Grimsley or it's got to be Keane. And I think here is where I draft for need, because I really don't need another reliever as much as I need somebody else who could be a potential infield option. It's got to be Bob Keane at shortstop. So, Bob Keane, welcome as well to the Rockies. I don't know what's up with these extra picks. Grimsley's off the board. That other starter I liked was there. So the Expos are back up. This pick belongs to Rook. Well, Rook, there you go. The brand new luck for you. The new follow luck. Rook, you're on the board. I can sort by whatever. Again, in terms of green, there really isn't much there outside of Tyson Scandora. So it's going to be a tough call. Deed's putting the pressure on. It's going to be a bit of a rough call. We can look at whatever. Again, right now, you don't necessarily need anything. You're kind of looking for the best player available at this stage. Which, easier said than done to find. But based off of the players I was looking at, knowing that there can be slight differences from your scouting department, which of course we leave on auto to keep it fair. Bullpen help is probably the best shout, yeah. You have a lot of starters, but only 6 natural bullpen options. You did just take Rufus Rio, though. So, It is completely up to you, Rook. Again, I can sort by whatever. Tis your call. Second base options. Nothing. Nothing, Rook. Nothing. The good thing is, for infield, you do have Julian Chavez there. But, yeah, you got a whole bunch of nothing unless you wanted to bank on Miguel Garcia being something. Bagel, are you seriously still packing diamonds? What the hell is going on with you, buddy? Good Lord. Good Lord. Craziness. OG! 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 Dropping the raid. What is going on, buddy? How'd the stream go? Welcome to a little bit of franchise after 3 hours of Diamond Dynasty because I'm hooked. Rook says he'll take the Josh guy. So he's going, I'm guessing, for Josh Spear. Rook's just going to go for it. Are we confirming that pick? Just going to go best guess on the third baseman in Spear. It's official. So along with Frank Jones, Josh Spear is added to the team. He goes for the shot in the dark and gets booed. Fair enough. OG, again, if you're here, thank you, buddy. If you guys aren't following OG, one hell of a guy and one hell of a character. And for anybody coming over from OG, hey, it's a little bit of calm, a little bit more calm franchise. Not gonna saying I want to know what love is. I'll leave that to OG. Mills as well in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Bringing back the Expos. Indeed, chat elected to move the Houston Astros back to Montreal. And to explain this again, although to Dirty Bird Mo, take it easy. At least you told us you were heading out. For anybody that missed this, again, I will quickly explain. In every franchise mode that I run on basically every game that has a franchise mode, we run something called Draft to Glory. No trading. No major free agent signings. We only build up through the draft. Now, of course, there are 2 drafts in this game, so of course we have our entry draft, and then in the Rule 5, you're allowed 1 position player and 1 pitcher. However, because you can control 2 different teams, it's not just me going through that process. We have chat's team as well. We raffle off all of the picks, so chat gets to build up their team, I get to build up mine, and we get to see who can build a winning squad first. As I said, Houston has been moved to Montreal. I'm controlling the Rockies just because I was going to move them, elected not to. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Right now, the balance on the channel for MLB, it's basically all MLB, even though there are other games I want to play. But pretty much all MLB right now, Diamond Dynasty, and a bit of franchise. We are in the 2025 Amateur Draft, and it is time for your boy to make another pick. And I have no idea who I'm going to take here. Not a clue, because we are in dire straits. Dire straits in this draft. And I know that Rook just got booed for that shot in the dark pick, but I can't say that I blame him. Because this draft is looking rough, and the auto scouting as well was looking pretty rough. Eddie Zavala, ugh. Oh man, that's rough. Mills, I had a hell of a time pulling myself away from Diamond Dynasty. Like, obviously, you and I have had that conversation. We wanted more for franchise than what we got, which was, of course, depth chart. But god damn it, if Diamond Dynasty isn't amazing, that's what makes it so frustrating. It's so good. And gameplay-wise, too, for the most part, in terms of my issues with Perfect from last year, I'd say 8 out of 9 times, 8, 9 times out of 10, I'm getting on base with Perfect. So my big gameplay issues have pretty much disappeared here, too. Tom Irving is still available. I might have to go for Tom Irving. He has no secondary positions, but he might be my guy. Or since Mills is here, I'll say my dude. David Stone. What a guy. Shot in the dark with Pena. Man, this is rough. Tyson Scandora's there, and he was somebody that was on your scouting report. My scouts did not. Chip Deal, by the way. Chip Deal. I'm so excited about Marte. I can't believe you guys let him slip. I mean, you had no choice. You had to take the other guy, but still. Ooh, Ronaldo Dawson's still there. That's it. It's decided. I don't necessarily need another starter, but that's a gimme right there. That's way too easy. The fact that he slipped to this point. Ronaldo Dawson is the selection here. I know he's 24, but I'm taking the starter, Ronaldo Dawson. And with that, we move on to round number 4. The Expos are up, and the pick belongs to J-Mac. J-Mac, congratulations. You've been here long enough. You know how this works, dude. It's all good. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes you think, yeah, I can enter this, and I'm good to go. But also, you never know when you're going to get chosen, right? You never know. So, J-Mac, like I said, you know how this works. Go for it. It is up to you, sir. Guess I'll just starve in my room. You get the food before the draft, man. That's how it works. Gotta get the food before the draft. Oh, man. I'm so excited to see how this draft plays out. And again, not only, of course, are we drafting to make our teams better, whoever wins the draft in terms of having the better class gets preferential treatment when it comes to hiring staff members and scouts over the next calendar year. So, a lot at stake. A lot at stake. So what will one J-Mac do? If I did get a pick, it would have been a pure draft pick. I don't baseball. Fair enough. J-Mac, are you here? Calling J-Mac. Calling J-Mac. 10-second warning. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Hey, he's here. Brown, if he's still there. Charlie Brown is available. Your scouts, though, do not have him set up as good as mine did. So do you trust my scouts or your scouts? Because according to your scouts, he might not be that good. How do overall ratings work on MLB? I don't know what the bottom is, FJ. I think it's around like a 30-something, but 99 is indeed the highest. Check Manuel. Is that a first name or a last name? That was a first name. That was Hidalgo. Again, Hidalgo you can't trust at all, though. You can't trust him at all. No scouting report for him, J-Mac. Potential is 80. Yeah, so indeed, right now, like the potentials that you'll see during the draft are like 60 to 80 for the actual draft, which is weird. Well, actually, I guess 20 to 80. Potential would be 60. It's interesting. You get used to it. I won't say it's the easiest thing for someone to understand out of the gates, though, about why it's not 0 to 99. But then the attributes and the actual overalls are close to it. It's the actual MLB scale, which is weird. Is it really? Huh. I guess that makes sense, then. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day, kids. J-Mac's going to go for a shot in the dark. Nobody will blame you at this stage. This draft is very, very much up for grabs. He is going for the reliever, Manuel Hidalgo, which, you know what? I agree with this pick here, J-Mac. I'm not just saying that to be like, haha, I got somebody better, but no, you guys need relievers. It's your second reliever of the draft. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hidalgo is the pick. I have no idea who I'm picking here. Not a goddamn clue. I could go with Kenny Imro. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Some 19-year-old catcher in the depth chart. That was indeed Mills. Yes, they drafted him first overall a few years ago. That's Richard Pena. He's in the majors for them this year. I'll get you a look at him in a second. But indeed, Chad's team ended up with the next Joe Mauer. It's very upsetting. Very upsetting indeed. God, I have not a clue as to who to take here. It is dire right now. Ahmad Roberts. Maybe. And then Tyson. Wow, Tyson Scandora's still there. Roberts or Scandora, huh? Spenny, take it easy, buddy. We'll catch you later. You have yourself a good one. Chris Quisenberry. Good break. Good walk. Decent stamina. Everything else, though, is a bit meh. A lot of Canadians in the draft. Troy McCarty is still there. Good velocity and break, but he's 20 and at least 4 years out. Tom Chung. Ooh. I think I gotta go for Tom Chung. I think I do. It's Tom Chung or Charlie Brown, which again, my scouts have Charlie higher rated than yours. There's 2 outfielders I like and 2 relievers I like. I'm a little bit afraid of Charlie because your scouts say he's not that good. I'm going to risk it with the older guy. I have a bigger need for relievers than I do for outfielders by far. I'm going to take the 23-year-old reliever, Tom Chung, with my pick, and we'll see who's still available. Ahmad Roberts immediately went to the Reds. I might have goofed. Cincinnati might have just stolen this draft away from me. Oh boy, if I screwed that up. Frank, we opened a bunch of packs tonight and got absolutely nothing. Alright, Montreal's up again. Boy, if I goofed by not taking Ahmad Roberts, I'm going to be upset. This next pick for the Expos goes to Deeds. Deeds, good luck. Good luck. Worst game to buy packs. Mills, I would still say FIFA's the worst game to buy packs for. I would personally go with FIFA. That said, it's been interesting pack luck this year. At least MLB maximizes the use of cards. You know, there's just so much to do. Collections, affinities, the exchange. Whereas in FIFA, it's like, well, I hope this guy can be used for an SBC. That's about it. So, Deeds, what are you thinking, buddy? It's a late pick. It's always a risk. Never quite know what you're going to get. You never quite know what you're going to get, when you're going to get a pick as well, which really hurts. Really hurts to get a late pick when the draft looks this slim. Also, Chudu is there. Shout out to Chudu. Another reliever. You could go for Chudu. Calderon is there. He is, Alpha. He is. That might be the guy. I mean, he's 25, but there are some options. You got Scandora, you got Calderon. You have taken a couple relievers already. Could be the time to take a swing at someone else. Deeds, what are you thinking? Yeah, Mills, I'll get you a look at the teams here afterwards so you can kind of see where we're at right now. Especially after this draft. TikTok, Deeds, TikTok. There's some great names here on the board, though. Satchel Skaggs, Kenny Weir. Of course, Chudu is the best one. What is it going to be? He's taking Jose Calderon, a very good pick. I was going to take him if you didn't. Jose Calderon is the selection. I was 1,000% going to take him. I honestly think you guys just got a gem with that pick. I'm very mad right now. Actually, the Deeds was smart enough to make that pick. I think you guys just got a real good pick there. I really like Tom Chung because my scouts, I think, were a little bit different about Calderon. I don't quite remember. So with that, the other outfielder that I was looking at, I think, is gone. I know Scandora is still there. Tim Hatch. Charlie Brown is still there. Charlie Brown is still there. Quisenberry. Still there as well. I don't like the break. The fact that the break is the only really strong option. I mean, for me, it's Scandora or it's Charlie Brown. I'm going to go for Charlie Brown. Both of us have been dancing around this pick, but for once, we'll let him kick the football. Charlie Brown, come on down. And that brings us to the last round, if there are enough players remaining. And there is. So the final pick belongs to Premium Bagel. It's bagel time. Will you go for Scandora? Or will you take a shot in the dark? Bagel's getting all the diamonds. Can he get you a diamond level player here at the end of the draft? Can Bagel win? I have no idea who the hell is going to win this draft. I have no idea. It could be one with this pick right here. Who will have the better class is the question. Check Perez and Scandora. So Tyson looks like this. Better fielding. Reaction time. Might have a weak bat. But a decent fielder. At that stage for the 18-year-old Tyson Scandora. And you also said to check Rene Perez in center. Which again, can't really be trusted, but he did run a 6.47 as a 60 time. He's also a switch hitter. I didn't really see, in fairness, if Scandora was. He wasn't. He's a righty. So you also got Rene Perez there, but again, no actual lockdown information on Perez. What would it be, Bagel? Your final pick for the Expos in the 2025 entry draft. Other positions I was focused on stats. Perez is a pure outfielder, as is Scandora. Both pure outfielders. Both pure outfielders. Bagel is saying Perez. Bagel, are we confirming? Are we confirming the risk pick on Rene Perez? Says AKA Frank. Rene Perez is typed in. Going once. Check Bauer, then Perez. God damn it. And there is one Bryce Bauer. If that is to be believed. It's going to be a real toss-up here, though. It's going to be a real toss-up, though. Because I think. He's going for Perez. Rene Perez is the selection for Premium Bagel. Which means Bryce Bauer is is coming to Colorado. Yep. There we go. Bryce Bauer, come on down. I've had too good a luck picking people that you guys don't pick. Bryce Bauer, welcome to Colorado. And with that, this draft is done. We actually ran out of picks. Every player was selected. So I am very intrigued, very, very, very intrigued to see how this draft played out. Because this could be something. For the first time in a while, we will look at the Rockies class first. Second overall pick, I took the first baseman, Andreas Marte. With the second overall selection, you guys let him slide. Marte is a god! Yes! 73 overall at 18 years old! Let's go! Oh, baby! Oh, Andreas Marte! Oh, you'll love to see it. I don't even care if that second baseman is the greatest of all time. I got the first baseman that I needed. Oh, baby, Andreas Marte. 75 stealing as well. Oh, baby, Andreas Marte. Let's take a look here. Oh, baby, look at that. Andreas Marte. No secondary positions. Very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. I'm not saying you guys did the wrong thing. You drafted for need, but coincidentally, you also gave me what I needed. in Andreas Marte. Whew. Second round, I selected Russ Gore, who is pretty goddamn good as well. 19 years old, 71 overall, B potential for Russ Gore. Much better against righties, good vision, discipline, and clutch. Horrible bunter. Pretty good fielding as well. His arm is terrible. He has no arm as a catcher. But I'll take it. Good reaction and good blocking. And obviously the speed, steal, and aggressiveness is a bit rough. But very happy with Russ Gore there. I get a little bit of competition for Alberto Hernandez at catcher. So I'm pretty happy with that. Third pick of the draft for me was Bob Keane. He's a miss. Bob Keane's a miss. I mean, he's a switch hitter, but he's 21 and only 57. B potential, so that's 2 hits and a miss so far. Unfortunately, Bob Keane, he's what I needed position-wise, but he's just not there. Third pick was Dawson, who, he's okay. It's a meh. I mean, he's 24, but he is at least a 69 overall, which is very nice. C potential. Dawson will probably end up being a long relief option. That's okay. So, you know, I think at this stage, if we're giving official grades, it's 2 hits, 1 meh, and 1 miss so far. My next pick was Tom Chung, who is a miss. It's my second miss of this class. He's 23, only a 62, and C potential for that reliever. High heat, but probably too old to ever really make it as a decent reliever. Ugh. Next pick, Charlie Brown. Solid. I don't know. You could argue between a hit and a miss, or a hit and a meh. I'm gonna say, I mean, he's somewhere in between. He's somewhere in between, but he's 19, he's a 69 with a C potential. I think it's fair to call that a hit. DeRossi, I do. I was playing Diamond Dynasty for 3 hours. So, very happy there with Charlie Brown. I'm going to call that a hit. I think that's fair. 19 years old, he's almost a 70. C is literally meh. Yeah, but his age and his overall. And the fact he has a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Bryce Bauer. Now, see, I feel like it's more fair to put Bryce Bauer in meh. I don't think it's fair to call these two the same thing. Bryce Bauer's a meh. Clearly. 23 years old, a 68, C potential. Again, someone else who has a chance to make the bullpen, but he's a meh. So, for me, it's 2 to 3 hits, 2 mehs, 2 misses, 92 potential for Marte. A couple of 87s there for Gore and Keane. So all things considered, a meh draft. Well, yeah, dude, of course you're going to weigh a lot on the 69 overall. That's what matters. Would you rather have Bob Keane or Charlie Brown? If you say Bob Keane, you're wrong. Like, clearly Charlie Brown's the better pick. So, all in all, decent drafts. We go to what happened with the Expos. Will you guys win another draft? Is the question. First overall pick. You took the much needed infield option in Eric Carvajal rather than Marte. Did it work out? Yes, it did. 19 years old, A potential, 72 overall, Eric Carvajal. It's a hit. It is a hit. Brits did it. Brits did it. Eric Carvajal, who will likely play shortstop for you, is a dynamite player. Eric Carvajal. Exactly. Exactly what you guys needed. Great speed, vision, and contact. Not a very good defender, to say the least, but Eric Carvajal is a weapon. To say the least, that is absolutely a hit. So, yet again, first and second overall, we both get great players. I'm not complaining. You got what you needed, I got what I needed. Fair game. Second pick, Rufus Rios. No secondary position. Ooh, you're right. It listed Carvajal with shortstop as a secondary position, but now that he's been drafted, it's second base only. You better hope Julian Chavez can play shortstop. The joys of drafting, guys. The joys of drafting. He's still a great player, but we'll see if your shortstop issue has been solved. You get Rufus Rios. To be honest, I'm going to put Rios kind of where I put Charlie Brown, in between the hits and the meh, so I'm going to count him as a hit. I am going to count him as a hit. I know he's 24, but he's a 70 with a B potential. He'll definitely be a reliever for you guys. So I'm counting Charlie Brown as a hit. I'll count this as a hit for you guys with Rufus Rios. Solid option who will definitely make your bullpen. Josh Spear. I feel like it's safe to say Josh Spear is a miss. 21, a 60, a C potential. You could maybe argue a meh, but I hate to say it, the risk pick from Rook for Josh Spear, that's gotta be a miss. That's gotta be a miss. You could maybe argue a meh if he was a little bit younger. I mean, the 60 is not horrible, but I mean, that contact versus lefty and the bunting is really what he's got going for him. Next pick is Hidalgo, and that is, again, in between a hit or a miss. I'm going to call that a hit. I think you guys get another future bullpen option. The 19-year-old, 66 overall, C potential. You know, I think you have something there with Manuel Hidalgo. Again, a future major league option. That's a hit for me. Calderon is not. Again, if Calderon was a bit younger, I think you could put him in the meh. I would personally argue to put him in the miss, because he's 25 and a 65 with C potential. So, I'm sorry to Jose Calderon, despite a great two-seamer. And Rene Perez. 18 C and a 69 overall for Rene Perez. With that, 3 hits, 2 mehs, 2 misses for the Rockies. 4 hits, 0 mehs, 2 misses. I think I gotta give it to you guys. You had 4 hits. I had 2 mehs. Expos win the draft, in my opinion. Expos win the draft, in my opinion. I had the extra pick, and you still ended up with more hits. That is a win for you. You ended up with a couple of C's, but the key there is that you had some good overalls where people are definitely going to make it. Again, the one downside is the fact that Eric Carvajal doesn't actually have shortstop as a secondary position. And yeah, Perez is a great speed threat for sure. It doesn't have much of an arm, but that's one of the only downsides. No, Warrior, I'm not going to check anybody else. I never check anybody else's team, Warrior, ever. Never, ever do I go around to everybody else's team and look at other teams. Never. I never do that, Warrior. Never. I never do it. Not once have I ever done that. Are you new, Warrior? Are you new? Because the badge next to you says 33-month subscriber. I don't think you're new. You might be. 33 months isn't that long. With that, let's take a look elsewhere here. The LA Dodgers. Yeah, there you go, Bagel. Good bop. Again, for the most part here, we're looking for names that I wanted to pay attention to. I'll look for players with high potentials, but then oftentimes you end up like Stuart Pritchard, and you're not that good. So for the most part there, the Dodgers, meh, in terms of great additions. The Padres, really nobody that we were looking at outside of George Pappas. Holy hell. I remember when I was looking at George Pappas, and if I selected him, I would have won that draft. Jesus. That's a hell of a pick. If I took Pappas over Bob Keane. I drafted for need and it didn't work. Damn.
Oh, good.
San Francisco. Lousy Jack Ranga. Thank you for the follow. Wow, San Francisco blew it. Holy crap. Poor San Fran. That's one of the worst drafts I've ever seen. 4 out of 5 D potentials. Baltimore. Ooh, high potential. 52 at 19. We'll see if he makes it. It's unlikely. I'll say that. It's unlikely that he'll make it, but you never know. Villegas, I was also looking at. 52 at 19, 86. That's not bad as well. They got a long way to go. They got a long way to go, but they're decent. Boston with a crap load of picks. Good lord. Fletcher Rodriguez is a 59 at 21 years old. Meh. That's a whole bunch of meh for the Red Sox there. That's what that is. A whole bunch of meh. To be honest, I think we'll go with untraditional webcam location. But yeah, that's a whole bunch of meh for the Red Sox right there. The Yankees. Also with a whole bunch of meh. Good lord. Like nothing. Nothing at all. Ned Flanders.
Out of here, boy!
Tampa. Warrior with a strong bop of his own. Tampa. Imro was a 64 at 22. Really wouldn't have been worth the risk. Shinjo wasn't that good. Holy hell, Dave Stone. When you know someone by that name, you should clearly just take them. 74 overall at 21 years old. See potential. Should have taken him. Should have taken him. Not a bad pick there, but overall pretty mad draft. Old Tommy boy. 55 overall at 19 years old. Long shot to make it, but he could. And again, a bunch of meh. Although Cruz and Thompson are okay. White Sox. Worth is okay. I mean, again, the fact that we're having solid drafts when the AI are ending up with a whole bunch of nothing for the most part says a lot. Brandon Grimsley would have been another good pick. I was looking at him quite a bit. Detroit. Castro's okay. 22 and a 63. McCarty was a 50. I was looking at him quite a bit. 20 years old and a 50's pretty garbage. Warrior, thank you for the bits, by the way. The Royals. Royally screwed it up. The Twins with Johnny Salmons, but he's 23 and a 66. Kenny Weir's a 53. These draft classes are not great. It really says a lot that we're as competitive as we are. In terms of, you know, dueling with great classes. Man, the Angels suck too. Oakland with Bagel dropping the 1,000 bits. This is my payment for pulling all those diamonds in front of you earlier. Bagel, thank you for the bits, buddy. I do appreciate it. Granted, judging by your pack luck tonight, you should have just spent that on you. So what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Love following the Twitter lately, seeing you get kicked out of leagues and shit. It's been great entertainment. It's what's up dropping the sub as well. You'll love to see it. Thank you for that, buddy. I spent more than enough on me. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So what's up, greatly appreciated. And I'll say this as well, now that he can freely spam in this chat. If you guys haven't checked out Switza, you should. I don't know how much NCAA he's doing now. Probably doing more NBA than NCAA at this stage, but no, still on NCAA the last time. Fair enough. Keeping up the grind, even though he gets booted out of leagues, apparently. Oh, for the Mariners, nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you, despite the fact that we're competing against one another, we're doing phenomenal work. These AIs are horrible. My God. At least Avias. Wow, that was a really good pick, though. 20 years old and a 58. He's a 90, though. And Quisenberry's not that bad either. But for the most part, this is brutal. Atlanta, Doug Doms. Good old Doug Doms. He's meh. Pretty much everybody's meh. Marlins with... I mean, Feliz is okay, I guess, but he's 24. Bryant Rayburn's solid. You know, at least he's 24 and a 73. Chudu, for the record, was a 60 in both overall and potential. So whoever didn't select good old Chudu, you did well. The Mets. Leffler's really mad. Dude, for the most part, this draft was abysmal. The Phillies did nothing. Like, Henry Pena's okay. So rest assured, if you were like, ah, man, I should have taken this guy over this guy. No, for the most part, you nailed it. Eric Nottingham Forest, 20 years old and a 57 with 93 potential. That's pretty solid. Schnell, 57 at 19, 80 potential. That's pretty solid. Freeman, pretty solid as well. Shout out to the Nationals, who are the only ones who can compete with the two of us by actually having half-decent drafts, apparently. Tyson Scandura. That could have won me the draft as well. He's a 58 at 18, but 90. Good thing is we both had the feeling of he's the one that got away. God damn, there were some late A potential guys selected here. God damn. And Hinojo was taken 3rd overall. He's only a 54 at 19 years old, but he does have an A potential. Oliva, 49 is rough. Hauser, 52 is rough for a 23-year-old. Ahmad Roberts, who I got isn't that bad, but Roberts at 22 is a 72 overall. C potential. Would have been pretty nice to have. Milwaukee selected 1,000 people, didn't draw a dime. Jasek's okay. Lopez is, I mean, he's 24, so a 63 is pretty rough. Yeah. Pittsburgh, Kyle Studer. Definition of meh. Low overall for that age. St. Louis with Paxton, decent catcher. 1960 and an 87. Tom Irving, who I was looking at quite a bit as a 63 at 22. Getting tired of saying meh. Just goes without saying at this stage. Ernest Sewell, meh. Bashang, meh, because he's 24. And that brings us to Colorado again. So, I'd say we had the top 2 draft classes for sure. But, you know, all in all, you guys get another victory in the draft.